Welcome back. So last episode we chose our city, and so let's jump right in. And while it's loading, I'll talk about a couple things. Firstly, in my 3 games, Minecraft, Kerbal Space Program, and SimCity that have come out, they're all pretty new updates, I guess, that I haven't used. So Minecraft, they came out with 1.7, which one of the things that they did was they made witches spawn normally. So that will be really good for my mob grinder, mob loot farm grinder thing. And so now I can have like a redstone farm and gold glowstone farm. I was like goldstone, no, glowstone farm and stick farm and glass bottle farm and all that cool stuff. Then Kerbal Space Program, research and development. It's always good. Oh, you have to see my dock as I pan down. This pan is really bad when you like move your mouse to the edge, or at least on the Mac it is. And then here, I just haven't played SimCity yet at all. This is literally the first time I played Mac SimCity. I played a lot of Windows SimCity. Probably from around the time it came out, March, till probably mid-April. And then I got kind of busy with moving and all that stuff. But so let's just jump right in. Let's get to the game. So we have the highway right here, which you cannot use a highway in this. And it turns into this high-density avenue, which is really good. It's not streetcar, but it's high-density. So that's a really good way of dealing with traffic opposed to having an exit coming off. I've had issues with that in the past. We also have the railroad going right along here. And so this would be a pretty good place for freight and industry and stuff like that. So, but there's a couple things that we need to figure out first, which is mainly related to just randomness. So you have all your data layers, or data maps, I call them data layers. Here, I'll go through them progressively, like I'll tell you what each one is when we get to a point where we need it. First off, water. Whenever you have a city, it always needs to be near water no matter what, because people need water to survive. If you look at anything, it's always around water. Rome, river, everything is water. If you find a city in like the middle of the desert, well, that's probably because there's probably an aquifer underground somewhere. You're not going to get far off from where there's not much water, whether artificial or not. So we got quite a bit of water. We got some here, here, here. This water cannot really be used, but here definitely. So this is going to be probably where we want residential, because we don't want industry or commercial polluting here. So it's still okay to have my industry down here. It's not too bad. And then the next and probably most important, I find, is the wind map. It tells you the direction of the wind. The wind is traveling this way. This is perfect, which means that we want to have our industry on this half of the map. If you want your industry on this half of the map for wind, and you want on the water table, you want your industry on this 3/4. Well, you can't use this quarter or that quarter. So this is the only quarter you can use for industry. However, since this is going to be all industry here, I could probably put industry here as well, since all this wind will just bring more over the industry. If I were to have residential here and industry here, that would also be fine. But that's really the main things that you want to look at. Then the lower things, which is coal. We got a little bit of coal right up here. Kind of nice plateau. Let's see where our ore is. Our ore right around here, that's where the residential is. This would probably be commercial and maybe a little bit of industry area. Oil, we don't have any oil. And that's really it. So I'm thinking that we're probably going to have to just do ore until we can figure out a way to prevent pollution coming from the industry. And then we'll be able to expand our industry without damaging the environment. But for now, let's just build with industry here, residential probably up here-ish. So, first thing you want to do is you want to, well, he says connect your city, no one can get in, well, you can, but if this was an exit, and still kind of required for this, is to build a road off of this road, or avenue. So you generally want to start off with dirt roads. You can upgrade them as time goes by. The more intersections you have, the more of a pain it is to upgrade, but that's not too bad. It only takes like 5 minutes longer than it should. So I usually choose the square tool. You see you have a ton of guidelines here. Draw based upon what roads are nearby. It also divides the whole city into a section. And so basically, I should probably choose something like that. Although I don't really want to do that because I want to have a avenue probably going up here. Just because it would be easiest to do. Just do that, go along with the road. As well as an avenue going up this way, going around. I know that they came out with the tunnel stuff, so I'm not really sure how to do that. I know that if I were to do a tunnel, I would do something like this, and then I think you hit like down or something. Oh, what is it? I actually don't know how to do that right now. I just press escape. Oh yeah, M and N. Okay, so let's see how that would look. So if I brought this around, M raises it, N lowers it. So if I lowered it, that'd be kind of weird. Oh, you know what? That is weird because it can't. Ah, I get it. So it can't do that. So that would be weird. Is that water? Oh yeah, it is water. Cool. Okay. So you can just press escape to cancel out your road. So let's get some roads going in somewhere over here where it would be more appropriate to put in roads. So what I like about the square tool is that you can build just blocks really easily, and you can also build straight lines. I find vertical or aerial view is definitely best for viewing it or viewing stuff out. So if you want to make it so that eventually you have buildings that are one building per block, I tend to do this. This will usually give you enough space for one building in every block once it's like a full building, and that's a really good way of doing it. Although you can't get avenues in here. Avenues you have to do a bit differently. You have to have an avenue, and then you have to put a road, avenue away, and then an avenue away, a road away from the road, and then you have the avenues perfectly spaced. It's really complicated because the avenues want to give more than enough space for one building. They want to give 2 buildings. But this is usually a good way to do it because you don't always necessarily have all avenues. You might just have normal roads, and that's what I'd like to do for this one, is not have avenues as every single road. I did that once where every road was an avenue, and it worked pretty well. There was never really any traffic. It was pretty good. So I think right after I get these couple blocks in, I think then I'll be all set and done. And I can just do so you can just do straight lines, and you can even box it out like that, and it will just draw on the straight line because it knows that you already have these roads in. It's really cool. So this is good for roads. Let's angle it slightly a bit. If we look back at our air map or wind map right here, I don't really know if they show it, but you get better wind up here, or higher amounts of wind up here which is definitely good if you have a wind power plant, but it's not really much. It's not really much of a difference. It might be once you get to really advanced wind power plants, but we're not going to end up doing that. So, you got all your types of zones here. Zones are now free in comparison to SimCity 4, which is amazing because you can't zone in anything to increase your money in SimCity 4. It's really bad, so you just kind of plummet to bankruptcy. You also have your power, water, and sewage. So if I have $38,000. That's definitely enough. So let's get a water tower. We want to have that somewhere near the water. Now I could just put it right here, but I need to think ahead. I'm gonna have industry down here, so let's put the water thing right around here. I didn't put it on the very end because if I want to expand the road, it will go around it. And then you see it will start pumping automatically. I believe once it gets power. No, it doesn't need power to pump automatically. Okay, so let's bring up the speed to cheetah from turtle to llama to cheetah. Then under power, let's get a wind power plant. It's probably good, right? Although that's slightly larger than a block, I believe, so I wouldn't really be able to expand it very well. So I'll just move it over this way as far as I can, because I'll probably extend this way before I expand this way. And now you see we're losing $180 an hour, so I want to quickly bring that back up by zoning in some houses. So you just drag along the road, and you can zone in the area. If you want to zone in a bit quicker, you hold down Command, and you just do that. On the Windows mode, you hold down Control, so you can just zone in entire blocks quickly, which is really nice. I probably want to have then commercial right around there, and then I'll have industry down here, which I think I'm going to want to build in probably right now. So, whoops. As I was saying, I was talking about, oh, yeah, sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. Okay, so you get money per hour now instead of per month, and you just have a whole day instead of well, actually, it's a bit weird. A day is equal to a month. So one day will give you a whole month worth, and so a year is 12 days. It's a bit weird. But every hour. They wanted to make it coincide with the correct time of day visually. And then they were like, okay, well, if a month will take a while. So now a month, I believe, is one day. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. So, you see, we already got a ton of stuff. We got a ton of people, ton of houses, or not houses. Yeah, well, yeah, we do have a ton of houses. I meant commercial kind of stuff. So I made a mistake on the road a little bit up here. So I could destroy it by taking the bulldozer and just dragging along there, or I could hold down Command and just destroy that whole thing. And then I'll take out this and that. Bulldozing also does not cost any money anymore, which is always good. So let's get in some more roads, because that guy wants industry right there. You can click on it and they'll tell you what they want if you don't know what the symbols mean. But you could also not. So I can't do that. I could do that, but I didn't really want to. So let me drag that out. There you go. And then I'll just delete this. There we go. So let's get some industry going on down there. Go to our zones, let's get industry, and we'll just put all that in there. I'll put some right here too, right there. So that's always good. And you can see their happiness is increasing. It will also tell you the direction of the wind when you have your, but only when you have your industry open. So just in case you don't want to open up your wind map and stuff like that. So now we're getting a bit further into it, and I'll talk more about some of my data layers. So you got your wind, which is good. You have your industry map, which just shows you how many buildings you have and how much money they're making. You have your commercial map, shows you their money, which ones are souvenirs and goods, and then orange is tourist people that come in, and blue is shoppers. So you see a lot of the shoppers up here, no shoppers from down here, because they don't have to travel from here to there, or the people in these houses don't have to go down here and back around. They just go straight here. You notice after near the end of the day, though, you'll find a lot of these people going here, as well as going back to their houses, which is always good. So people will leave their jobs at the correct time. They won't just leave randomly. People will go to their places or to the schools in the morning, and they'll exit in the afternoon, stuff like that. So it's very realistic. Each person is modeled. I have a town hall that I could add. I want to put it up on the hill though, so I don't want to do that yet. And you just see you have sewage just sitting in these pipes, so I want to have an outflow pipe, probably somewhere away from the people, so I'm just going to put it right down here in the corner. And then you can't really see much because everything's white. So, if I go back to my data layers, I also have my residential. It shows me how happy they are and how much money they have. The more happy they are, and the more money they have, the more they would want to expand into like larger buildings, which is called building density map. So the greener they are, the more likely they are to expand. These people are happier than these people because they live closer to the shops, whereas these people live a bit further away, and they're like, oh, we don't want to drive 3 blocks to go to the shops. I'd rather have a shop right next door. It's a bit kind of not really accurate, I guess you could say, but that's irrelevant. You have your happiness map. Greener they are, the happier they are. Shops are generally the happiest. This is their population map. Shows you how many people if you hover over. So 6 workers in that building. How many workers in this building? 10 in that building. Another 10 in that building. How many shoppers were just here? 3. Now they're all leaving. Over at the power plant, you have 7 workers. This house has 6 residents. Might be condominium. 6 more residents. This one has quite a few shoppers, quite a few workers, and it's pretty interesting. You also have your visitors and tourists. So there's also another map is the land value map, which tells you the more red they are, the less people want to live nearby. The greener it is, the more people want to live nearby. They don't really like living near utilities or industry. They like living near parks and stuff. You have industrial tech, which is how close your industry is to becoming cleaner and more efficient and stuff like that. Your power map just shows you which buildings are powered. It doesn't show you the power moving. You have to go to your power thing here and you see it moving around. I like having this power map open, or power tab open, while I have well, I actually like having the power thing open while I have the water tab open. So then I see where water's going and I see which buildings are powered. This is really helpful if I just want to see if all houses are getting what they need. Because I don't have to switch off. I know if there's enough water everywhere, and I know if everybody's powered. So that's really helpful. You have your water map, sewage map. I still have my water open, so if I close that, you won't see it. You have your waste disposal, which is for garbage. We don't have a garbage thing yet. It's only $9,000, so it's not like it's too expensive. Probably get one pretty soon. You got your illness, or health, I guess, crime, education, which we don't have any. Purple's not enrolled germs, pollution, tells you how much ground pollution, tells you how much wind, radiation, and then you have your transit, which we don't have any yet. And then, like I said, you have your specialty, which is ores, oils, coal. Why does the ore seems much darker? Oh, it's just the angle that I'm at. Your trade and your tourism. Trade is incredibly helpful for anything that you're doing. It will just tell you how much of which one of these. It's really amazing. And so that's been a pretty successful day. I think next episode we will add a garbage dump, and let's get a nice shot of it at sunset. Let's see if I can get a nice close to the ground one. Atop this hill maybe. And oh, see, and perfect view. And we'll end it off here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.